even though it is technically started right now. I need chat. I didn't open up chat. Chat, if you're here, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm talking to the stream. No, I said chat because I didn't get chat up. But oh, that's yeah. Okay. Hi, Spirian. Hi, Spirian. Okay. Just need to get chat. Okay, I started the stream. I'm just trying to get chat, but I can't find it. Like, thank you. I see. I'm moving it. Oh, because Automon's on top of it. That's why. Hi, Softpaw. Okay. Let's get pop out chat. Pop out chat. Let's get chat over here. Oh my goodness, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's get obs minimized over here so we can change scenes. Let's get chat right here. Wild Kyberries has appeared. Hello and welcome to BlizzCon 2017. My name Kyberries, and we're gonna play the video game today. In a little while, I'm gonna be joined by Kaeo Milker. He is the production director for Heroes of the Storm. You might have seen him yesterday presenting Heroes of the Storm from the main stage during the opening ceremony. So that guy is going to be here soon, TM. It's early and he's not here yet. But guess who is here? Me. How's BlizzCon? Pretty amazing. I'm pretty amazing, Foxy Coxy. Thank you. I need to open this soda. I can't get it open. I can't get it open. I can't open it. I can't open it. Ah! Hopefully someone will come help me, but first I need to tweet. Hey, guys. Live from BlizzCon, playing at HOTS. So I hope everybody's doing amazing this morning. It is 9 a.m. So, you know, it's a little early for me. It's a little early. Twitch.tv/Kai Berries. That's me. Tweet. Okay. Hello, stream. Hello. Oh, I'm just gonna call you Remy. Hi, Remy. Hi, Vittorious. I am computer scientist. Hello. This is my 5th BlizzCon, so 5 out of 5. Oh, Smeary took Alexstrasza. Okay, Hanzo it is then.
With every death comes honor.
Okay.
With honor,
so we're gonna try to play Alexstrasza. Oh, I forgot my glasses. F poop. All right, while we're in the draft, hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second, team. There we go. Now I can see the world in gamer vision. All right. All right. Feels good, man. So we're just waiting for our teammates to ready up and start the game. How we doing? Hanzo's released? No, I'm playing from BlizzCon at the testing area. As you can see, like BlizzCon player number 129, player 131, QA apparently 128. So we are playing from BlizzCon. We are playing the new heroes and some of the new changes. This is not live. Not live. Not yet, but soon, TM. Went and got my Gunner glasses, so I don't have eye strain. Hashtag sponsored by Gunner. Okay. Did you manage to get quick cast on? Yes. These ones have quick cast. Unlike the ones at Gamescom, BlizzCon, the superior con, does have quick cast. Are you playing against other people? Yes. If you see behind me, those are my teammates. Those are my teammates.
Yourselves. The battle begins.
Those are my teammates. All right, step 1, options, quick cast on. You have to do this every game. Step 2, turn off camera follow because for real that is lame. And onward. So I played 1 game of Hanzo. This is is not my first Hanzo game. This will be my second.
Battle
I felt
begins
pretty
in
awkward about it the
10
first time,
seconds.
but we're gonna do our best. And last time I played him, I tried a scatter arrow build and did not get anything done. So I think I'm gonna try storm bow this time. How does that sound?
Go! Kill!
Can you play Alexstrasza next? I will try. It's whoever locks him in first. Like I said, I'm playing with real live humans behind me, so it's possible that they will get it before me. So one thing about Hanzo, he moves and shoots, similar to Tracer,
Never
Zarya,
surrender.
you know, just Overwatch, so you can move in and shoot.
I will
And the
strike
thing I
you
find
down.
most, I guess, awkward about Hanzo is his Q. You can, oh, all right, I messed up. Pretend that never happened. His Q, you can do badly. You can channel his Q and move around and do like this right here. And it doesn't stop until you release it. There you go.
Ignore all distractions.
So what does Hanzo do?
There's
Hanzo
no
things.
escape.
But more importantly, Q is a channeled skill shot. Does damage to the first thing it hits. W is a scatter arrow, so it bounces off walls and then makes a volley of arrows.
The dragon.
And your E is sonic arrow. It gives him vision and does some amount of damage. His D lets him jump over walls, and only walls. Like Genji's cyber agility, but it only goes over walls.
See
If there's no wall, he can't use it. Feel me? So we shoot. Keep doing. I realize this is only level 3, so I'm kind of jumping the gun by telling you this. But Hanzo has a talent at level 13 that when you use your you land mounted that I think is really cool. So I'm going to take that at 13.
flow like water.
Alright, so we laid in right now. Well, who's our team? Do we have a support? Oh, we have Alex, of course. Alright, so at Q I took hit people to make Q better, right? Just a stacking Q talent. So I could take an AoE on my Q. Ow. I should use this more, huh?
See that which is unseen.
Not enough range. Basic attacks. I tried this. Ignore all distractions. Basic attacks destroy all minions. It was interesting.
Very well.
I'm just gonna take explosive arrow. I'm going Q build. Q Q Q. Q Q Q.
See that which is unseen.
So I have kind of a hard time with the scatter arrow deciding like how it's gonna bounce.
Just
Really not a true Hanzo main yet, I guess.
You.
Hey, Maddie B. Maddie B got me a cheeseburger last night because he is a good friend and I appreciate him. So I really like his vision. I really like Sonic Arrow.
I do what I must.
I feel like that's very useful to have, right? Hi, did you meet up some fans? There is the squadron party. It's tonight. It starts at 8, or sorry, excuse me, it starts at 9 p.m. at the Marriott Hotel. All of the squadron will be there. I'll be there. Pally Time will be there. Warak will be there. We'll all be there. So you could come there and meet us. Otherwise, if you see me at an event, come up and talk to me. Anti-fat. I had a really hard time with, oh, I'm gonna die. Am I alive or dead? Am I alive or dead? I had a really hard time with,
inescapable web.
I forgot, I completely lost my train of thought. Okay, we're just gonna move on from that. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but the way regen globes work in this build, you can take enemy regen globes. So if our little duder dies, we'll have after a second the ability to take the regen globe. Similarly, our regen globe, if we don't pick it up within 4 seconds, enemies can take it. So there is more regen globes available, but you need to be quicker about picking them up so enemies don't steal them. Alright, what are we taking? Against shields, there's some shields. Johanna's here. Basic attacks reduce scatter arrow cooldown to spam more, or a spell power. A spell power, that sounds cool.
Very well.
So aiming those scatter arrows well and getting like a bunch of bounces is gonna be hard. This is so early for Kyberries.
I will
Yes.
strike you
Yes, this
down.
was very early for Kyberries, but you know what? Heroes of the Storm is worth it. No, get away from me, other Hanzo.
See through the dragon's
There's
eyes.
just sonic arrows everywhere. Other Hanzo, please. I'm not doing real good on this quest. Not doing good at all. Oh, I got part of it done. I hit Anna 3 times. Now I have to hit other heroes. You have to hit every hero. I didn't read the quest text very well, apparently. Yeah, you see that.
See through the dragon's
I
eyes.
keep hitting only Anna. Anna, get out of here. I need to not hit you. I need to hit somebody else. Anna, please.
I will be back. Count on it.
I'm just gonna back.
You are at your limit.
Uh,
Retreat now.
Correct, Foxy. Like regen globes, there are total more regen globes available if you steal the enemies.
Just so.
Is the title still Halloween? I think it is. I think I forgot to change the title. Do you think you can change it, Meatyard? Otherwise, I will do it after this game. How does Hanzo fit in the meta, do you think? I have no idea. I think the most powerful thing about him is his second ultimate choice. We're not quite there yet, but we're going to be in a minute. There's the obvious Wakatiki dragons, right? That's the dragon arrow. And that's obviously pretty neat, kind of like Hyperion, just launch it down the lane and deal damage. But, sorry, Dragon Strike. Sorry, words are hard.
I will strike you down.
However, I think Dragon Arrow is going to be where it's at. Getting that global stuff. So we'll try that. Or maybe we'll just walk a Tiki Dragon just because it's fun. Did not aim that very well. Okay. Alright. Pretend that didn't happen. Okay, when is the Baldus? Tonight at the Squadron Party at the Marriott. We're gonna shave Jonah. Truly the best part of Blizzcon. Shaving Jonah. My bot is dead. Okay, well, I will change it myself here in 1 second. I will change it myself in 1 second.
See through the dragon's
In
eyes.
a minute, life is brilliant, you know. So how are we doing for damage? Not terrible, but not great. Then again, I don't feel I'm the most accurate Hanzo in the world. Oh, but look at this.
Yes, kill them.
Are you an Alexstrasza main? Well, volume is low. That's I didn't do that.
The spiders shall aid you.
Yeah, I'll finish this quest eventually, maybe, possibly. I just hit like 3 people. Thank you, Spirian. Thank you. Oh, I missed that glow.
Easy.
Heck. Oh, man, I wanted it to hit her. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that one spider to die, but no.
Never.
I have only got to see a little bit of any esports. If you look at Squadron, you'll see that we released a lot of videos yesterday, so I will get to a little bit. Dragons! Oh, but Anna killed me. Okay, this is a good time to check the title. I'm doing it right now, okay? Hold on to your butts, it's happening. Choose a talent. Choose a talent? Choose a talent. Okay, title is now correct. Thanks, Yuki, best mod NA/world.
Distraction.
Alright, so I like mounted archery. So I'll show you what it do. I really like it. So we're gonna get off our mount. We're gonna jump over this wall. And we're gonna land on a horse. I love it. For escapes, think about it. Lower game volume, please. I am not allowed to do any of that. Sorry. I don't get to touch the buttons.
Keep destroy.
I will forward your suggestion gladly. I'll hit his Evo.
My name
Come on. Let's try it.
Well done.
Oh no, I hit every minion instead. Boo, they spawned here. Nice.
Triple kill.
Does mounted archery work on play? It works on every kind of horse. Look, you can just be like, wee.
very well.
No, I didn't bounce that one, right? Since I'm about to die. Wait a
Enemy slain.
Ha! Suck it!
Double kill.
Later, loser! I got places to go!
Is that the best you can
Killing spree.
do? Ignore all this.
That's why I like mounted archery, because you're like, I gotta go. The escapes are real. The escapes are real. Haha. Old Spice Hanzo, look at me. Look away, look again. I'm on a horse. I can do backflips. Seriously. Like I said, I'm not really an assassin main either, right? So maybe I'm the wrong person to assess Hanzo, but he feels awkward to play for me. And maybe it's something that I need more practice on too. I remember 1 year ago at BlizzCon, I did this same thing and I played Ragnaros and Varian, and I said I did not enjoy Varian and I preferred Ragnaros, but now a year later, I definitely prefer Varian. Like, I completely flip-flopped. Hold on. That's what I want. I completely flip-flopped. So a year ago, I didn't think I cared for Varian, and I thought Ragnaros was the bee's knees when I first playtested them at BlizzCon. But as time went on, I played Varian more, and I found I enjoyed Varian more because protected, by the way. And now, here I am in this chair again, and I feel like I prefer Alexstrasza, and I feel like I don't care for Hanzo, but maybe over time, as I play him and as I gain skill, maybe I'll change my mind. Guys, never wrong. Ragnaros is better than Varian. RIP. Why do I have nugs in my fridge this morning? Because you ordered so much food, Maddie. I was there. Oh, send me those Pico pics. Send me those Pico pics. I don't think it's, even when Ragnaros was at his peak performance and people were, he was like picker ban every game. I thought I would really like his play style, his wave clear, his self-sustain, but it's just really not something that ever clicked for me as a player. Like, I don't play Rag. I think my Rag is like level 6. But however, I played Alexstrasza quite a bit yesterday. So 100 bits for Kaiberry's Hanzo main reconfirmed. Maddie B bits, thank you for the bits, but no Hanzo mains allowed. Pally didn't stand in the healing circles. Nobody stands in the healing circles. So I played a bunch of games yesterday with Pure Shield and Average Adam and Warak and the rest of Squadron. And I was playing we played for like 2 hours, and I was playing Alexstrasza, and I was literally sitting next to Pure Shield on comms, and I was like, stand in my circle, and he just didn't. He was playing Genji, and he would jump out of it. He would dash out of it. He's like 10% health, out he goes. I'm like, please. So I feel like it's something every healer has experienced, where your team just, they run from your heals, and that's a big thing for Alexstrasza. Oh, you resubscribed for 16 months in a row? Maddie, thank you for the resub. I'm so proud of you. I don't have any dinosaurs here. How am I going to properly thank you? I'm gonna make one. Here we go. Like, here's a dinosaur. Like, you get a dinosaur. Thank you. All right, let's try to lock in Alex. Let's try to lock in. There's some players behind me. Oh, I just got a Pico pick from Merpsing. I see it on my watch. Of course, Pure Shield would play Genji. He played Genji and Twin Blades Varian exclusively. We played for 2 hours, and he alternated back and forth between Genji and Twin Blades Varian. Genji, Twin Blades Varian. We tried to get him to play Parry Varian, and he tried it one game, and he said he hated it, and he immediately went back to High King's Quest Twin Blades Varian the next game. Like... High King's Quest Twin Blades in 2017. I know. Forward your complaints to @JeffyFeng on Twitter because it was ridiculous. Although we did win every game, I will say this. Even though, and like we've got Pure Shield playing Twin Blades Variant, we've got Average Adam playing Pyroblast Kael'thas. Warwick played ETC. I was playing Alexstrasza, and then I think that was when Horsepants played Hanzo, and we just dominated. We dominated. We had really good games. The games I'm actually talking about, if you want to see them, are all on Squadron. It was during Horsepants' and Starby. Horsepants was here and Starby was here. They streamed yesterday, and those are both, they're 2 streams. They're both on our YouTube channel. They're both on our YouTube channel, twitch.tv or youtube.com/games. If you want to see them. But we were on fire. But you can see all of Pure Shield's weird talent choices and everything on Squadron if you want to watch that later, because right now you're busy watching me do this. Yeah, let's get the snacks and randoms. Blizzcon spray, that's fine. Get some Arthas going. All right, because it should save my loadout. Have you seen the stealth upgrade in-game? No, because I do not believe it is on the patch we're playing right now. But if it is, I haven't seen it. The E-build Horse did with Alexstrasza looked pretty dank. Oh my gosh! Did you see how much damage he did? It's like, you know how Horseplants plays Uther and he does like top damage? He did that with Alex. He was top damage in our games as Alexstrasza. It was out of control. Is this going up on YouTube later? This will go on my YouTube later. It'll go on. I like this Alexstrasza skin. I don't know. I like the golden one. I think it's pretty neat. She's got some really cute ones. Like, this is the Maleficent one. And, you know, it's got a lot of colors. This one kind of looks like that one Li Ming skin. So does this one, actually. This one makes her look like a night elf. But I really like this, like, gold one. So. What's up, Dark Rune? How are you? Can Alexstrasza ride a horse in dragon form? No, she cannot mount in dragon form. So, one thing I really enjoyed about Alexstrasza, if you notice her her base skin, she kind of has the same shirt as Sylvanas. Like, hi.
Glad to see you're on my side. Together.
Are you ready? Is it too early?
And life to this realm.
Whatever you want. I feel like you're the boss here.
As you wish.
Options. Let's turn off that quick cast. Turn on quick cast. Excuse me. Oh, let me get shot. Grab yourself a headset, Kaeo.
The hunt begins.
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
There. Now you can hear my words.
Ah, yes.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
So you get the chat computer. So hopefully everybody in chat will give you a warm welcome. Everybody, this is Kaeo.
Hi, everybody.
You might have seen him from such places as the main stage yesterday. When I saw you come out, I was like, oh my goodness, because I knew that we were doing this, and I was like, this is too much. A little starstruck. A little starstruck.
Well, that whole thing is kind of overwhelming.
I'm sure. So we're playing Alexstrasza.
Yeah.
We're playing Alexstrasza. We played Hanzo last game.
Cool.
Which is your favorite?
I love Hanzo, but Alexstrasza brings a lot of interesting new things to the game. You know, she's our first percentage-based healer.
So I really like Alexstrasza, and I don't know if you know, but I make YouTube videos and also Twitch streams. And I did a whole video about an idea I had for Belial as a healer, where he would have a percentage-based healing where he'd use his health to heal his allies, and then he'd have an ult where he would switch life with an ally. So when I saw these on Alexstrasza, I was like, oh my goodness, this is everything I've ever wanted.
Great minds think alike.
Well, I mean, I feel like if I've had an idea, you guys have probably had it first, but I was like, oh my goodness, this is everything I've ever wanted. So
Cool.
I was really excited for Alexstrasza in that.
Yeah, she feels awesome too. Like, it's so fun going into Dragon Queen and feeling something that big out there on the battlefield.
Definitely. I've seen some people play her as more like a damage healer. No one will stand in this circle.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little while for people to figure that out, but boy, are they gonna want to stand in that circle.
So much healing. And then when you add the talent where you can get armor off of it, like, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But, I was seeing people play her as more of a, like a damage support. Like Horsepants played her last night, and he was half damage in his games. It was crazy.
Oh.
But I was playing her like 4W build, and if I could get people to stand in it, I was doing crazy amounts of healing. So I really like how versatile that is. Depending on how you build her, you can get different stuff.
Yeah, I think they're really doing a great job on the talent choices, on new heroes and our reworks now. They're really diving deep into it. I think the diversity and like just the general versatility of what they're creating has been awesome.
Okay, you said rework, so we'll ask one time because chat asked. Are you going to rework Lily?
I'm not sure. We'd have to ask Matt Cooper or someone from the balance team, Alex Nyman. I'm not sure where Lily is on the list. Are they wanting us to rework Lily?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the thing the Heroes community would like. They may feel she's not quite viable right now. I love that she's a slow hero. Sorry, I got derailed. I'm like, I just really like this hero. She does. All right, what else? Oh, Raynor. Okay. You guys only got one rework, chat. You got one rework question, and you already used it up on Lily.
Sorry, I wasted it entirely.
No, they wasted it. They made a choice.
No, they don't.
They were warned. I would ask one time. They picked Lily. You're done. That's it. You're out of moves. So what can you tell us, if anything, you can say no, about the MMR changes or using like personal performance versus wins performance?
Yeah, so that's something that we spent a lot of time on. And they did the What's Next panel yesterday,
right.
And Travis talked a bunch about it. I saw that there were a lot of concerns after I talked about it on opening ceremony. People talking about, hey, they tried that on Overwatch and it didn't work. Why are you guys doing this? We're taking kind of a different approach to this, and it's looking at your personal performance on that hero, and it's looking at a bunch of other stats for the battleground that you're on, the region that you're in, people in the current skill band that you're in. So there's a lot of things that have gone into this to ensure this is not something that you just kind of game or pick a specific hero and like, manipulate the system to kind of bump up your
Right, you
MMRs.
think that somebody would take like just Sylvanas and just lane and never team fight and
So,
never...
so it's not really working like that, because unless you are just dramatically better than every other Sylvanas, it's not going to work. And like Travis said, we've been running this in the background and basically having like a shadow MMR system where we were watching what everyone was doing and making adjustments based on the new evaluation. And it's a lot better, a lot faster. We're really excited about it.
Somebody, I guess we can ask what Words is asking. Is it going to tie into the current MVP system at all? Is that...
So some of the data that feeds MVP is available to the same thing. So like Travis said, we track data on tons of stuff, like everything that's going on in the game. We actually added a lot more hooks in the road to doing performance-based matchmaking as well. So some of the data that we pull from to make determinations on MVP is there, but I saw people saying if you just do it based on the same stats as MVP, then it's worthless. Well, that's totally not what we're doing. We are using all the information at our disposal to really determine, like, apples to apples, how good are you at that hero at that moment, and making adjustments accordingly.
I've heard people who, like you said, think the MVP system is maybe not worthless, but not great or not accurate. Like, it's giving somebody MVP when they maybe didn't play very well or just didn't be impressive. But I like the idea of it, of giving like kudos or commendations rather than like thumbs up's better than thumbs down. Have there ever been ideas to expand on the MVP system? You know, things that other games have done, like ribbons or commendations if you get enough, like, oh, you're a nice person, or you're a good leader, or you're an honorable enemy.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about a lot of those things. That was more of things that are on the side of like the positive reinforcement, like karma-based systems, things like that. We're interested in those things. They were also interested in continuing to evolve the MVP system as well. We've actually made a lot of additions to it since it was first added. So new categories have been added, new stats, new ways we are evaluating the data that drives them. I think we see the same things as well, where sometimes you'll get in a situation where why did that person get MVP? So those are the things that we're looking at and continuing to evolve and try to make them better.
I know people who don't ever vote for MVP. They're like, oh, it doesn't do anything. But like I always do because it makes me feel good. Like even if it's an enemy player too, like like our tennis was all over me all game. Like his swaps were amazing. We should vote for him.
Yeah, looking at the stats, I think definitely when people lose, they're not participating in the system as
Yeah,
much as
no,
when
they
win.
just exit out. They're like, I'm done with this.
New life springs forth.
That ability feels so good.
It really does. The very first time I used it, I wasn't ready for this at the end, and I was just right in the middle of that.
You just drop yourself.
I was like, oh no, this is a mistake. I like the globe change. That was the last thing I was talking about right when you were coming up the stairs. Because one thing I've never really liked are globe quests, but it makes it, if you're dominating a lane and you're able to take the enemy globes, you can finish it twice as quickly.
Yep.
And I feel like then you have more incentive or control. Because I'm not just waiting for minions to die to pick up my globe. I'm actively trying to pressure the enemy player out of the lane so I can have their I want your globe and
Yeah, a lot of those changes in this 2018 gameplay update are really about trying to create that kind of 1v1, 2v2 experience in the beginning, and really letting you show off in lane and have that opportunity to dominate it, and then have some rewards for that, like being able to take
yeah,
and
go on out. Like I'm legit sad I didn't core dive to get that globe. I need that. Give it to me. Alright, let's see if chat has anything.
So I want to point out again that Blizzcon does not utilize performance-based matchmaking.
Blizzcon doesn't have any matchmaking. That's one thing chat said. They said even the AI stands for circle. This isn't AI. These are people right behind us. These are real humans. Please. They're right there, and they're probably very nice people. So
They are very nice people.
yeah.
We are legion.
What do we got?
I'm reading to see. I wanna censor them before I say it out loud. I used to just read question. They'd be like question, and I just read it out loud, and then it would be awful.
Oh.
You guys cannot be trusted.
No, you do that.
Did you watch the community gauntlet yesterday?
I didn't. It was right after opening ceremony,
was.
and I had to go do other things, but I saw lots of practices of it. How did it go?
I thought it was really fun. One of the questions they asked, because they'd asked me a question, and this one was, name a hero that you would not bring home to meet your parents at dinner. And my answer would be Chat. I would not bring Chat home to meet my parents at dinner. Which is funny, because my mom watches the stream, so she might be here, but Chat, you can't read out loud what you say sometimes you're naughty. Oh, okay. So Chad is asking, have you guys ever considered having a third
A third what?
a third band? Another band phase? In the past?
It's definitely been on our radar, and if we try it, we talked about always doing that first with like the custom lobby support, so we can try that in tournaments and things and feel out how it goes, and then roll it out wider. So this game sound is too high.
They've said that. I'm afraid to touch that. I actually don't know which one it's like. Do not adjust. Do not use. Like,
Yeah, they don't give us many options.
there's a sticky on the mixer that says "Do not adjust." So I feel like I'm not allowed to touch that, which is fine.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
We can't turn down the game sound in the game because we disabled it.
Yeah, there's no options.
Options.
Also, there's just quick cast, which that
Talk louder.
as a BlizzCon like thing, having quick cast setting in the options wasn't always there.
Well, those are both up to 11 too, by the way.
Turn it up to 11.
They both are. I
Anna.
don't think we go any higher.
Hanzo, why do you hate me?
As you wish, mortal.
It's hurtful as a healer sometimes. I want to help you. Stand in my help, please.
Yeah. Well, and you, as Alex, you need to be in your health as well to keep balancing out
Right.
that Q.
That's one thing I've done a couple times where like I want to heal Vala here, but first I'm going to place this and then heal her, assuming she's going to run away.
Well done.
And I can get my health back immediately, timing when you use your W best for yourself. I also like her quest where regen globes heal you more, kind of similar to the one Diablo has.
Yeah.
Since you can't Q yourself, that would be weird.
Witness the strength of life.
What are the Valeera changes? Great question. I don't know. I haven't seen a single stealth character in any of these games. Are the stealth changes on here?
You know what? They're gonna do the deep dive today, and they're gonna go through all the changes for Zeratul and Samuro and Valeera.
Is that at 5?
I actually don't know.
All right, check your BlizzCon app, boys,
Sorry, guys.
and watch the deep dive.
Yeah, yesterday they only talked a little bit about the changes to Nova.
But I mean, Nova's everybody's favorite stealth hero, right? #1 player killer hero.
Definitely.
It's at 1 p.m. Great job, guys.
Hey, thanks.
I mean, I'm gonna believe you.
Let's ask chat some questions about other things that you guys know about.
No scamas. Wow, that's a strong opinion on Valeera. Enemy regen globes become neutral regen globes now. Yes, we talked about that. It's a really cool thing, and I like it.
That's a fun change. A lot of those laning changes, you'll feel getting rid of tower ammo. How does everybody feel about that?
That's a good one to talk about. I like it because there's a lot of in current Hero League you play, like Asmodan pushes, where Asmodan will do that. He will just stay in lane and throw his body at forts and keeps. Doesn't matter how many deaths he can have. He can have 16 deaths. He'll probably still win because he's just going to force Hero League keeps. And I think this makes that a lot more difficult for him.
Yeah, you have harder choices.
And that was one thing people said on Reddit. They were like, "Oh, but this makes Asmodan and Abathur less effective." I think that's the point, actually. Or is it the point? Like, the point something else?
Well, it's really about making that entire like laning, pushing, sieging stage different, like changing it up a bit. And again, in the very early game, it's really about those 1v1, 2v2 fights, and
making the early game just more important because people have said that early game doesn't matter, right?
And it really didn't. A lot of the battlegrounds, you just get that first objective very early, and there really was none. But always we designed the game to have this kind of 3-phased approach, and the first one wasn't really hitting it for us. And now, so what's going to happen though is not only is there that chance for you to really be able to dominate and show your individual performance in that initial phase now, but it also sets up much more meaningful for the later stages of the game. But again, we're not changing the length of the game at all. That was like a really important part of this. We like our short games. We like fast games. We like the action and getting into the action quickly. We just wanted to make sure that that initial phase was more meaningful.
I think that's good. Yeah, the game length for Heroes games being shorter than some other games was one of the major things when Heroes first came out. It was like these games aren't going to be an hour long each.
Yeah.
What's the longest game you've ever played? Like, what's the one that dragged on the longest?
Yeah, I mean, it's rarely that are pushing 50 minutes, but
yeah.
That's usually, there's usually a lot of really weird things going on, at least, something like that.
Yeah, usually it's one or both teams just not taking opportunities that they have.
Again and again and again.
And again and again, yeah. Mine was a 47-minute Garden of Terror. I'll never forget it.
Garden of Terror is one that has happened on.
Yeah. People that get plants, the core is open, and they're just like, I'm going to hang out like over here. I'm just really scared right now. But it wasn't a bad game either. Like, it was very back and forth. There was a lot of team fights, but it was a long game.
As you wish.
One thing they mentioned yesterday, they said that next year we're going to find out more about the story of the Nexus and what's going on in the Nexus. And some of us have always kind of viewed Heroes as like it doesn't really have a story. It's just like the Blizzard the game, right?
Yep.
So is there going to be a greater story that's being put into?
So our initial approach was definitely about just getting into the gameplay.
Right.
And especially because our team is coming off of the first 2 chapters of StarCraft 2. And we put a lot of work into the storytelling part of that, like story mode, cinematics, everything that was involved in that. So for us, it was kind of exciting and freeing to go and work on this game and just focus purely on the gameplay and not have to worry about the story side of it. But then at the same time, we all like story. We like understanding like why some of this stuff is important or interesting. And our game has this rare chance to bring together all these different Blizzard characters and universes, and opens itself up to tell stories that we couldn't tell in any other game. So I think we're kind of at a point now where we're starting to think about that, and we definitely want to to spend a little time like, exploring that with you guys.
I'm excited. I really love Blizzard storytelling and Blizzard stories, so I was okay with Heroes of the Storm being like Blizzard the game, where it was just like kind of like an arcadey beat 'em up, where there wasn't really much more happening than we get to see Diablo fighting Genji, and that's cool. But to have more story to it, that's really exciting too. I kind of wondered when Gul'dan was released.
Yeah.
Because he has some lines, and his cinematic when he was released, and his lines to Medivh are about like taking the power from the Nexus and what was happening in the Nexus. It's like, wait a minute, there's nothing happening in the Nexus, or is there?
And I think that the Gul'dan Medivh back-to-back hero trailers were the ones where we just scratched the surface of it a little bit,
Started to
and
think
it
about
was
it.
really fun for us. And I think the reaction from the players was cool too. And that's the kind of thing too, that perfect thing of this guy who's on this constant quest for power, and what would someone like Gul'dan do in the Nexus? It's just, those are fun things to explore.
Okay, the roaming one wants to ask, is there any plans for a PvE mode?
For PvE mode, I think that's something that's always been really interesting to us. Our focus is really on the PvP side of this game. That's really where all of our energy goes, but never say never there.
Never say never. I think that's a good policy. Never say never, but you're not maybe doing it right now.
Yeah.
I think that's a question Overwatch gets a lot too, right?
Yeah, and they've scratched the surface of that a little bit with events and stuff. We may do something similar. I think the game lends itself to that pretty well. It's just a question of where our focus is, and we have so much stuff that we're always trying to do and trying to prioritize and balance all
Right, you
that.
can't do everything at once.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go for this question because this is one I would like. Any plans for hero swapping and ranked?
So we put that in so that they could do that in tournaments and
Yeah.
custom games.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I said, with the question about the third ban, that's usually our testing ground to kind of see how that feels. So I think that works. It's like a needed function. It's
Yes.
definitely something we want to do. So I think you can expect that to come. I don't have a timeline for that, but it's something that.
Something you are positive about, right? Like there's a good feeling you would like to.
Yeah,
do it.
there were a lot of details, like we talked about it before, or details that we were trying to work out of like how to make that experience in a non-organized game feel okay.
Right.
But I think we'll have some solutions for that. It's just a question of making that get in the game.
I know that the sound is a little, but we're not allowed to touch it. There's a sticky that says don't touch it.
Is there anyone who can call over to help us with this?
Baby, is Matt still around that we can ask him to find somebody? I mean, you can touch it. I can't touch it.
I don't even know what
The
that is.
sticky says don't touch, so I'm not
I
going to
didn't-
touch it. But I feel like nobody, who's going to yell at you if you touch it?
I touched one that did not say don't touch, so I could try to get somebody. There are other games going
Like,
on.
who would have to come here to reprimand you? Would ADAB have to descend from the ceiling? Like, who would it have to be?
No. Only Mike Morheim.
Only Morheim.
I'm going to check on someone. I'll be right
Okay.
back because I want this to work for them.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be right.
Good luck. Okay, so Kaeo is going to go see if there's one of the production people who can touch the sound. Okay, we're going to see if they can touch the sound. I'm not allowed to touch the sound. I'm not going to break the rules. But we're going to see if there's somebody who can. Daniel Newman, I will ask him that because that's good. Hi, Spirian. Okay. Hufflepuff says, sorry about driving Handsome away. You're definitely the pretty face of this stream. Definitely. I don't know what that makes me because I don't know if I'm the talent of this stream either, but
I'm not the talent or the pretty face, I can assure you, so.
I'm gonna play Alexstrasza again. No shame.
I shall do what I must.
Have you checked out her skins?
I have. I like I think this one's my favorite. The Maleficent skins or
The Dark Queen skins?
yeah. Dark Queen. All right. Look really cool. I actually like the blue one of those.
I was showing this one yesterday to Pally too. The iridescent one is really fun. Turn her around, look at her cape.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
her cape. It's so
I
shiny.
really like that one. They had a lot of fun with the materials on that one.
I haven't tried every skin. I think I've played maybe 3 of them, but I've noticed that the dragon does change for the skin, like quite a bit.
And some of the dragons are awesome. Like I want to play the skin just for the dragon version of her.
What's
actually.
one of those? Is this one of those?
I think the Dark Queen ones all have.
This one I played and I know it's black and red and gold, like it matches. But does this one turn green?
I'm fairly certain it does.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna play it and
Let's
find
do
out. Let's do it. I was a little like, cause some alts and some don't do that. Like Tychus's Odin doesn't usually change color.
Yeah, it seems to vary. It's something that we get a lot of feedback on, and I think the art team are super passionate about doing that to everything, and it's just like sometimes we've actually done it and it hasn't made it in the game, and sometimes
They do it
we
later,
haven't
right?
done
They
it.
add
Yeah, so
little updates.
I think we hear that feedback and we share your passion about that.
I didn't change mounts. Oh, I don't match. I didn't change my mount. What a terrible day. What is so speaking of skins and mounts, of all the heroes and all the skins, which one do you think is your favorite? Go. Go.
I don't know. I play a lot of stuff. I like to vary it up. Like I don't get in a pattern where I'll play the same skin a lot. I like to vary it up, and I definitely like to coordinate with my team.
Yes. Yes, having a 5-man team where everyone's colors match, everyone's portrait match.
Yeah.
Oh man,
getting on
you
the
feel
same
like
mounts.
the squad is just rolling up then.
Yeah.
Like,
And then if we lose, we looked good doing it. So.
absolutely. Kyberry's overlay. Oh, thank you, chat. You're such a good wolf, but then we lost you. We need obs. We need hots. And then we need chat back. Okay, we've returned. I guess I should heal Sonya. She'd probably appreciate that.
Many thanks.
Hi, Spirian. Bye, Spirian. I'll miss you. Okay, so I'm gonna try an E build this time. I'm gonna try Horse Pants' build and do more damage. Last game, I think I pressed my E a total of 4 times. It's a lot. I mean, we're having some nice conversation, trying to play the game at the same time as a whole bunch. But I'm telling you, I saw him and he was out damaging like engines. It was out of control. And I mean, I don't think I can be Horse Pants, but I can aspire to be Horse Pants. So we're gonna try. I main support. For your, besides Alexstrasza, obviously she's amazing. But what other maybe support characters do you like, or do you think are powerful, or do you enjoy?
And I think we've had a really good year for supports. Like Stukov is one that stands out to me.
Absolutely.
It's just the gameplay is so fun and different. And I mean, Alex is now going to a different place as well. And I really like this dance with her of sharing your health, healing yourself, like the QW dance is really fun on her.
Right, sometimes you want to heal, but you're so low, you're like, Okay, they're working on the sound. They're working on the sound. Uh-oh, we're dead.
So complicated.
I'm reading chat right now to see if I can stack up some questions for Kaeo once we're done fixing the sound. And I'll move this out of the way. I have returned.
Where I tread, life blooms.
Okay, that's a good one, Maddie. We'll definitely ask that one. Streamed so early in the day, I know. I don't know who had a harder time waking up, me or Kaeo.
They're saying that our voice volume is really low and the game volume is
Destruction will not prevail.
Yeah, it says don't touch, so I didn't touch.
Life blooms.
We got a whole team here, guys. We got a whole team. Can finally hear you talking.
As it must be.
Okay, that's a good one. Game volume, like
I don't know.
combat sounds, game music, that was too high. And then the mic was too low, but they said it's fine now after you touched it. I'm gonna be a dragon, guys. I feel
All
like
right, are we any better?
I feel like a dragon is the right answer to this problem. All right, it wasn't. What do you think, chat? Better or worse? Can you hear me now? Better or worse?
They can't hear us at all now, apparently.
It's better.
Okay. We will try this. Yeah, we're trained not to stand circles. Thank you so much.
Actually, that's funny because Newman says we're trained not to stand in circles. One of Alexstrasza's poke jokes is you have to stand in the circle even though we've told you not to.
Yeah, that's why right now everybody's staying out of that, but we will figure this out
I
together.
actually really like the poke jokes. A lot of them are really self-aware for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Thrall has some really good ones, like about it being fan fiction and like who wrote this, but
Yeah.
it's Chris Messin's voice, so it's like you probably wrote this
Yeah.
actually. Those are some good ones. Somebody asked in chat, how do you guys pick the dances? And last year doing this, I talked to Karina about it a little bit, and she talked about the animators like acting out the dances.
Yep.
But who actually picks them?
The animators pick up.
They pick them completely.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes suggestions might come from people on the team, but ultimately the animators responsible for each hero, they're choosing what they want to do for the hearths and the dances, and it's really a labor of love there.
Alex, I'm dead, so we'll probably never get to see it, but Alexstrasza's hearth animation is really cute, where she pulls out the flower. Yeah, I like that. There was another one that I wanted to ask. Oh, the camera changes, yeah. So was the camera change because of Alexstrasza and her model being so large, or did those just kind of fit together?
No, those just ended up landing together. The camera change is something that we've received feedback on since the very beginning of the game. Cameras are tricky things in video games because we build everything to the camera. Like, so the decisions we made very early on for what the camera was going to be set the tone for so much of the decisions we made for art and our tech budgets and texture budgets, and there's all these things that kind of fall out from it. But we had that feedback in the beginning, and our thing was usually, hey, you know, we like this, we like the way it feels and looks, but as time went on, we added more and more heroes with different abilities and really long-range attacks and things where more and more often you were being impacted by things that you couldn't see on screen. And so we kind of came around to this thing of like, okay, we've added enough now that it's time for us to explore this. It was actually a big challenge for us because we really want to be able to pull out the camera and give you guys more visibility, more viewpoint there without negatively impacting game performance. So this was a delicate balance of trying to get what we wanted from a visibility standpoint and a performance standpoint.
Absolutely. I really appreciate it because one of my least favorite things in the game is Chromie. Yeah. Just Chromie, period. But I played a couple games against her yesterday, and it felt so much better because getting comboed from Chromie from outside of your vision, and you didn't even know she was there in the first place, can feel real bad, but that's not possible anymore. You have her range is within vision now completely. So that felt really good.
Yeah, it's a good change. It's funny because it seems like this kind of subtle thing, and I think you're going to get used to it very quickly. Like at first you go, whoa, this is really different, and then it'll just like not even register, but what you'll be experiencing in gameplay is going to dramatically change with it.
Yeah, I didn't actually notice it until playing against Chromie. It feels so natural that I was like, what changed? And then I played against Chromie, and it was, oh, this change. Felt very good. Speaking of Chromie, and something I've said about Chromie, but also Alexstrasza, so she has potentially two really good escapes. Turning into a dragon that makes her really powerful, and then turning her ult where she's up in the sky. But they feel really balanced in that it takes a long time to cast them, and you can be knocked out of them, and that happened to me just now, where I was knocked out of using my deep. How do you guys make choices like that about how to make something powerful but also have counters?
I mean, you see us that pretty much always there's something like that where there's this trade-off, because if we don't do that, it just becomes way too powerful. So I don't know. I think the design team and the balance team have done a really good job looking for that and walking that line of like, this feels really strong. However, it's very situational, and if you didn't use it at the right moment, it might be worthless to you. So, and I think knowing when and where and how to use those things without losing your opportunity is kind of the differentiator for players.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the definition between OP and when something is balanced or when something is, oh no, walking into a bush. Not, I guess. There are definite counters to her. She has definite weaknesses. People don't stand in my circle. It really hurts my feelings. Stand in my circle, please. I just want to help you. Somebody asked if we're going really quick back to the new zoomed out map. Will that be across all resolutions for people's game setting or just for certain settings?
Oh yeah, that is the camera value. So if you're using different resolutions or ultra wide or something, as you guys see now, you're already kind of seeing a little bit more with those kind of things. So the numerical camera values are the same regardless of your resolution. It's just if your actual pixel resolution is bigger, you see a little bit different stuff.
For sure. Well, there you go. Thank you, Maddie B, for the Maddie Bits best streamer interview. I don't know. I'm trying. When I did this last year with Karina, I didn't read chat at all. I was basically like, Karina and I were going to talk. I had questions for her, and that was it. This time, I'm trying to involve chat a little bit more, so it's a lot of things at once. So thank you for being so understanding. I also know you talked to Pally yesterday. Yeah. And so
but not for long. There were a lot of technical problems yesterday.
Yeah, the internet being out.
That's a bummer.
So I wanted to not ask you the same things Walter asked. I'm like, that would be boring for you. That's my
We just
question
talked
for
about
you.
Deathwing the whole
In,
time.
in all the interviews that you do during BlizzCon, how many times do you get asked the exact same question?
A lot, especially when we have a bunch of new stuff. So
Right.
I think there's a lot of questions about that people have similar interests there. But I don't know, that's okay. Hope I could just answer many things. I've already had some things I couldn't answer, so that bums me out.
Well, I think we've come to expect that. No! He flipped right out of it. It's like it was intentional. Why do you hate me?
Flippy floppy.
What was the thought behind making health globes neutral? Okay, I already said that I like it and why, but what did you guys think internally? Did you think of me personally, or what was?
That was part of it. I can't say how much it was, but it definitely played a role. I mean, it was really part of this evaluation of that laning phase and saying, like nothing's happening right now. It didn't feel very meaningful at all to us. And globes are always something too that, like denying a globe versus getting one kind of felt a little good, but it wasn't this big moment. But this thing of like, well, now they can get a globe, and that comboed, like you said earlier, with the questing talents that are about globes can become really powerful, and then it becomes, again, meaningful. So we're trying to create this moment where you're like, what I'm doing right now matters. This is not just biding time until the game starts or until action and team fighting. This part I'm doing right now is actually contributing to my team's overall success, and my actual hero in this game's power and ability to be a part of it.
Yeah, we've got the late game is probably a hot meme at this point, where you can do very poorly in the early game, but late game power spikes and late game play is so much more important that you can have the late game. So I agree that making the early game matter more is important. Really quick for chat, these are players, these are the BlizzCon floor players behind us. They're not bots, so like, don't skimming things. They may have never played this game before, be nice. It will. We already talked about it, but briefly because there's new people showing up. We did talk about removing the ammo from towers, and that it probably will affect like Asmodan and Abathur, but it's probably supposed to affect Asmodan and Abathur, right? Like, maybe they had too much of a free pass. Okay. I really love this ult.
Yeah.
When somebody first showed me just a picture of the thing, I was kind of like, oh no, it's going to be like Rain of Destruction, where it's just like random and it's going to feel real bad, but it's targeted. It will do damage. It's not damage or healing, it's damage and healing depending on who it hits. So no matter, in a team fight, you're always feeling really good about it. Like, I love it.
Yeah, it's really fun to actually use it to save an ally that's getting chased down, where you're actually damaging and potentially killing the person that's going after them.
That was part of Horsepants's mega damage, which he did a lot better than I'm doing, but he was so aggressive with it, going in and just pummeling their team.
Yeah.
And this leads into the question I want to ask, because when we did that, he said he was going to focus on damage, so we played a second support, or an off support like Tassadar or Kerzi. So how do you guys feel about double support being very prevalent right now? Do you mind? Is that something you're trying to change?
We never like it when there's like one way to play the game, and so when things become really dominant, that's when the balance team usually looks at it and tries to make decisions that kind of provide other options.
Right.
Because we don't want the game to just devolve into like, this is the way you play, and it's that's not very interesting or exciting to us. So I think they've already done some.
Yeah, is that something in specific they're looking at, why double support is so strong, or just in general it's always an ongoing thing?
It's an ongoing thing, but I mean, right now, just with the prevalence of it, it's something we're definitely looking at and trying to.
And this happened before. There was a time, I can't remember if it was right after release or it was still beta, but it was kind of the same thing where double support was very strong. But I remember who was interviewed, but they said that they didn't really make changes to address it, just with the new heroes and the way things, it took care of itself.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot at play that like dictates what's happening to the meta, and sometimes it can be the addition of a new hero or a change to another hero, and people just find something else that's effective and fun and they switch to it. Other times we have to go in and make some changes, and it's always a delicate balance of balancing that. And we learned this from StarCraft 2 and Warcraft 3, balancing those games competitively for many years. Is like sometimes there's a strong reaction to something, and the community's desire will be for us to go in and change it or make some big change to make it go away. But a lot of times these things do kind of fix themselves just in the
Right.
normal course of life and players exploring different things. So we're always trying to not be too heavy-handed, but at the same time, when something gets out of hand, gotta do something.
Right. Okay, I'll ask this one. This is borderline. I already told you I wouldn't do it, but Arthas's model. I think that's maybe also meme status at this point. Is that something? Are models just always being looked at and it'll come around, or is he specifically something you guys have thought about?
We've heard the feedback on Arthas from very early on,
Okay,
and as you guys know, he's one of the older, like
One of the
original
oldest,
models
yeah.
that are in the game. Goes way, way back, and there's definitely some things about his proportions that you guys give us feedback on, and that we do agree with. So I think it's something that we're interested in revisiting and doing something cool. The problem with that usually for us is, wow, it feels like there's this undercurrent of everyone saying we don't like the Arthas model, we want him to be better. Every time we touch anything that's already in the game, we have a bunch of people come out and say, hey, I like that.
I love that,
and
yeah.
You broke it and took it away, so we have to talk about both the work that it would take to do that, because it's a lot of work,
Absolutely.
and also how we ensure that we don't take something away from people. But we hear you guys. It's something we know about. We want him to be Arthasy.
See, that was one thing with World of Warcraft when they updated the character models. I thought it was the most amazing thing. And I was blown away by how many people were like, I love the old models. I hate this. So I can imagine for you guys how hard that is to...
Changing stuff is really hard.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're doing the right thing, and then it said the people who like these things don't talk about them until
Until they
change
go
them,
away,
yeah.
right.
And then we're like, oh, I'm so sorry.
It was something we were actually talking about with some other streamers this morning on the way here, because we were looking at comments on a video, and there was literally one that was like, I love Hanzo, and the one right below it was like, F Hanzo. It was like, this is basically feedback in a nutshell.
Yep.
You get the opposite feedback right next to each other. So what do you do? I don't hate the Arthas model.
Yeah.
I think Arthas is bae.
Well, I mean, I agree with it in that it shows its age.
Right,
And,
it is one of the older models.
and there was something about proportions that we did in the beginning that we don't do as much anymore.
They were a
And
little chunkier, yeah.
I mean, and that comes back from our War 3 roots, and a lot of the character team come from that mindset too, of just making everything really big and chunky, and it feels good. And actually, I really like it in most cases. But I hear what they're saying about Arthas for sure.
Well, that's one I'll go with from Maximus. So you guys do a lot of announcers, and more announcers are always coming out. And one thing they mentioned yesterday, which panel was it, when they said that announcers were something people spend a lot of shards on. People love announcers.
Yeah.
So how do you pick what heroes are going to get an announcer, or like they're asking for Alarak specifically?
Yeah, no. So there was a combination of reasons why some had them and some didn't, and part of that was that in the beginning we were recording, when we would record VO for heroes, as you guys have noticed, there's a lot of VO we record that we don't actually use. We record things for heroes that don't exist in the game and may never exist in the game.
Right, because you have that voice actor there, so you might as well.
Yep, and when we do this game, it's not just that voice actor that we're hearing in English.
Right.
We do that for 11 languages too.
Absolutely, it's a lot of work.
So for us, it's always about the writers have to get ahead of it and try to cover as much ground as they can, so that when we have the voice actors in the studios around the world, they can get as much coverage as they can in that
Right, that's
session.
John Delancey for Alarak. That's not easy at all.
No, yeah, that's awesome. So what happened though is at one point we were recording announcer things just in the case that we would ever use it, and we had no intention to use it originally, but we were just covering ourselves. But then as the game grew, we were getting more and more VO, like hero-specific VO, battleground-specific VO. There were things that were coming in that started taking over the amount of content that we were able to record. So what happened was announcer stuff started falling off because we weren't using it. So we were like, you know what, we're not using this now, let's just pull it out. So some heroes didn't have coverage on announcers, some did. I think in time, looking at how much people like announcers, for most heroes, it would be really cool to have announcers for them.
Absolutely.
I think there's some where their personalities are like, do I really want an announcer for that one?
Yeah, it might
I
be
think
a little...
in the world of shards, there are people who probably want a coverage on every announcer, so which is a question of us being able to get that stuff.
Do you ever okay, let's say World of Warcraft, a lot of Jaina coming up, so Laura Bailey is probably around. Do you guys like pop in there and like, hey, can you just like sneak this in?
There definitely have been times where we'll do that, but that's generally for like one-off lines, because if they're going to get someone like her in, they usually have
a huge list of things.
Yeah, it's work to do, but we definitely sneak things in or get something, a pickup that we always wanted and weren't able to. But it's hard too, because if we did that, we have to make sure that they're doing it for all of their other languages as well, or like start diverging English from other languages and things like that.
Besides specific heroes, have you guys considered kind of like StarCraft, where you have personality announcers that aren't in the game? Like, I think a lot of people ask for Cloaken, since he's the voice of heroes.
Yeah.
Has that ever been something you guys considered, or you're like, no, we're going to stick to
We
it?
definitely talked about it, and we talked about it before we started adding that into Star 2, and it's been going really great for StarCraft 2. So
Absolutely.
I would like to do it. The same kind of thing, though, where this game is a global game, and so we'd want to be looking
Hard,
for
yeah.
opportunities to find similar, like, there's probably not the Cloakin equivalent or the Kevin equivalent since he's our voice here.
Right.
But
Who's the Cloakin of Spanish and
yeah,
French and German?
so we'd want to do that to make sure that we're giving our players around the world their equivalent or something they can be excited about as well. And sometimes they're excited about getting Cloakin too. But
Absolutely.
but yeah, I think we'd love to explore that and get as much of that in the game as we can.
Since we're still talking about announcers, how do you guys determine shard values for announcers? Is it just based on coolness or newness, or because like Brightwing, super expensive, she's legendary. I
Yeah.
think like maybe Rhaegar is like common.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations that go into that. Sometimes the evaluation of that is we're looking at it and going, we think that's really cool. And we also see some things that we say, we want that to be like rare. We want that to be something that you kind of have to work for, and that
Absolutely.
it's going to be kind of like a bragging rate of like, yeah, you know what? I saved up, I got that thing, I really wanted it, I think it's cool. Announcers are something that I think go on the heavier side, and most of the reason of that is it's a lot of work for us usually to do them.
Absolutely.
And at the same time, it's something that like players, you're only hearing that yourself, right? It's only for you. It's something that you have to really want if you're going to opt in for that thing too.
I use Arthas for every hero.
You do?
Arthas, yeah. Like I said, I'm an Arthas fan. Like I love the Lich King, so I'm all
Cool.
Arthas all the time.
That's awesome.
I think I could switch for Alarak though.
I would like Alaric a lot.
Yeah,
He would-
I understand though why that's difficult, because that is a big personality to try to bring in.
yeah.
So Lucio. Oh, I'm gonna steal it. Oh, I'm a bad person. The Lucio, when Lucio was it when it came out in Hats that they did the 2 songs that you could actually, they were full-length tracks.
Yeah, there's like remixes of his stuff and our stuff.
Yeah, his healing song. I think it's pretty neat. Have you guys thought of doing that again? Like somebody here asked for like a Christmas Lucio album.
That would be really cool.
Again, it's probably a lot of work. I don't know who the actual artist who did that was, but
Yeah, there's a combination sometimes of people like our in-house composers and out-of-house people, and I know I love that stuff.
I do too.
I listen to our music in my car. I'm like, those are my jams. So
Yeah, I was at a party the other night, and it started out with like Blizzard songs, and it
Uh-huh.
was just like, stuff from Warcraft. It was like, oh, this is cool. And then it faded into like regular pop, and I was like, no, go back. Bring me back the Warcraft music. Let's see. Shard stuff, if they consider changing the prices of here. How do you guys decide that? When something comes out, it's like 15,000
The
gold.
gold thing.
Yeah, or shards too. Sometimes, have you ever considered shards becoming less expensive over time? Like something that was legendary when it was released, maybe it's not legendary anymore.
Yeah, we haven't changed tiers on anything but heroes. Usually it's just that launch thing where it's like 150% of its future price,
Right.
But yeah, the gold things, and everyone, I can't remember if we talked about this lately, but there was a lot of feedback for a while there that we hadn't changed like the gold tiering on heroes in a long time, and I know that's something that they have gone through, so there will be those changes if they haven't come out already. That will be something that will resume of like continuing to adjust like pre-existing heroes and where their tier is in the gold pricing scheme.
That makes sense. A couple people are still asking about the stealth things. I know we said this earlier, but
Yeah.
they're going to talk about that more in the deep dive today, right?
Yeah, I think those guys could go into all the details of it, but I think the people's concerns are like, oh great, you just made my favorite hero just worthless or something, and there's definitely changes to them. So you'll see their kits are changing, the abilities have changed. They do things like on Nova,
Nova needed some changes.
Yeah,
so
but they're
no one's complaining about that. Chat.
I'm sure some people
Actually,
are, but
yeah,
I want you
I'm
guys
sure
to check it out and see how those feel.
I think a change to stealth is a good idea, because it feels like it's something where if you're used to it, it's not really even a thing, right? You can see Nova and Zeratul and Samurai, you can see the Predator Shimmer. It's not like, but people who are maybe new to the game and aren't familiar with it, like it can be really jarring and unexpected.
And Matt Cooper talked about this yesterday, but stealth has been really challenging for us because in each kind of skill band, it's dramatically different.
This is why I actually don't change overlays on my own stream, because I will forget.
Chat
But
never
yes,
forgets.
I can see that stealth, like between quick match and bronze and silver and grandmaster, like there's probably a huge variance of what people feel about stealth.
Oh yeah, and so the thing yesterday was like, in like quick match for average players, stealth just dominates and they get wrecked and
Yeah.
it doesn't feel good. And a big thing they talked about too is, like you said, if you're used to it, you see the shimmer and it's good. But the reality is, it really is like a physical eye test. Like if you some people just lack the ability to see that detail.
Or they play computers at a lower resolution where it looks much different to them than it might to me.
Could definitely be that as well. But there's some people that just never saw it at all.
Right.
So that change makes it's very obvious now, but you still have the same kind of advantages of stealth in that you can't be targeted directly. You got to be broken out of it by by abilities.
Yes, I can ask about that, Jack Shadow. So we've heard on and off a lot about the API and the discoverable API and seeing stats either directly in the game or getting that data from Blizzard for sites. Is there anything going on there? Is that just still like a work in progress, or what's the?
It's definitely a work in progress. It's something that we've heard a lot of feedback about. I think we're excited about. We've done a lot of things with our web team. Like you guys have probably seen the HGC site has exposed a lot more stats now. That's kind of the beginning of the fruits of our labor to externalize some of our game stats in ways that we can do interesting things with it, and ultimately we want you guys to be able to do interesting things with. But I don't have any info on like specifically what more is coming and when, but it's something we talk about a lot.
It still exists and it's still being worked on.
We've done a lot of work on it already, and it'll be something we continue to work on.
That's awesome. So we said a couple times, you said you saw that feedback. Somebody asked, where do you guys actually get your feedback? Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, the forums, everywhere, nowhere?
It's everywhere. Like, so something amazing about this game is our team, it's a really big team. That's a very large team, but everybody's really passionate about the game. We're really passionate about the community, and so we're all playing it every day with you. We go home, we play it, we come back to work, we all talk about it. We're reading our forums, we're reading Reddit, we're reading Twitter. We're everywhere that you guys are, in the same conversations you are, and we don't speak out much, but we listen a lot. So we're always kind of regrouping and talking about things that we heard or saw, and checking that against our own experiences and how we're feeling about it, and trying to prioritize what are the things that are really important to react to and when. And yeah, it's something that we really like this game.
I know I've seen that for sure. I remember when at Gamescom, when Hearthstone was released, I was there, Pally was there, and we were talking to some of the different employees, and I know they were like looking at Reddit, seeing what people were saying, looking at Twitter. Yeah. Like they're so into it, and maybe people sometimes feel like they're not heard, but you're heard. You're heard.
It's hard. There's a balance between like hearing this and reacting to things, and even when there are some things that we have already reacted to when they're coming in something in the future. There's some things that some things we just don't disagree with, or we don't think that that's a high priority compared to other things that we should be doing right now.
Yeah.
But it's not like we're not listening or we don't care. We always are listening and caring. We're just trying to make the right choices for the game at any given moment.
And some things I think are forgotten, like you were saying about how there's different tiers of players, and they're affected. You're the best, Hanzo. You came backwards. I love you. Anyway, what somebody might think is terrible in their Hero League game is dominating in quick match, and you can't forget those players.
Yeah.
We hear that a lot. We're like, oh, like, this is not great at Grandmaster Team League. It's like, all right, well, but what about everybody else?
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge of trying to balance across so many different types of players.
I don't envy you that.
Yeah, well, that's our balance team.
They're smart.
They do a great job there, and they're really focused on continuing to.
Very neat.
Wow. Yeah, he's after you.
Was very fixated.
Who is that?
He got it. I don't know.
Let's get him.
Over there is a really rude guy. Okay, I guess that's a fair question. So we bring in, we have the Lost Vikings. So we're kind of branched out from the major Blizzard, like, the World of Warcraft with the Lost Vikings. How about Destiny? Is that on the table, or not really? They're just friends, not related?
Yeah, no, so we haven't really gone and brought in something from outside of our universes. Like, going back to the classic games is still
technically still
Blizzard's
in the family.
roots, and I know for me those were the very first games I played from Blizzard, and I think we would like Destiny a lot. We're really excited about it. I was talking about this I think yesterday, but my brother actually works on Destiny. Like, it's like
amazing.
There's like a family thing here.
Yeah.
But there's no plans right now to just like bring in skins from them or something. But I don't know. I'm really enjoying Destiny too. I'm really excited to have the PC version and have it in our launcher.
Would it be allowed?
And stuff.
I get it's not, you don't have plans, you're not working on it, but would it be on the table if you guys felt like it later, or is it completely off the table because it's too far away of a property?
There's conversations that would have to have across us and Bungie and all these
Right.
things, and so it's not just something that we just get to decide to do in a vacuum. And
Right, like we feel like it. Okay, we're doing it. You can't do that.
yeah.
That's fair. How about other classic Blizzard titles? People ask for Blackthorn.
Yeah.
usually.
No, those are definitely Rock and Roll Racing, Blackthorn.
Yeah,
those
yeah,
are
yeah.
all on our radar for sure. I know Dustin was very excited about Rock and Roll Racing, and it's just a question of when, right? Like, there's so many amazing characters we can bring in from all
how
the
do you
Blizzard
choose?
games. Yeah, I mean, every day we look at this giant list. It's literally hundreds of potential heroes, and we're trying to find the right mix of.
Yeah, we've heard that
everything.
before at BlizzCons and just developer interviews where it's like, you know, is this hero considered? And it's like, guys, the spreadsheet is massive.
Yeah,
If it exists, it's probably considered.
definitely. And there are some where it's fun. I like seeing players will, like you did, make kind of their design for a hero that they really want in the game. And for a lot of those heroes that are on that list, there are people who've made pitches and it's sitting on it.
It happened already.
Yeah, like people sharing that excitement.
I've said that to my chat before where they're like, that's a great idea. And I'm like, yeah, guys, but like most ideas aren't unique. Like the thought has probably crossed somebody's mind at some point. They're like, you need to tell Blizzard. Probably no.
Well, we get lots of great ideas though from everybody. So
Gosh, I lost my train of thought. I had. What did I want to ask? It'll come back. It'll come back around. That was for maps, map locations, maps in the Nexus that are their own thing, or maps that come from other properties. How do you guys think about that?
Well, in the beginning, we talked about this before. There are people who are like, why weren't the Battlegrounds Blizzard IP Battlegrounds in the first place? And there's a lot of things in the beginning where we were trying to make this game, and while we wanted to bring the characters in, we didn't want to create this expectation of the rule sets and some of the things from our other worlds. So the art team largely wanted to go off and kind of just go to places we haven't been before, even though they were familiar or they looked, they felt kind of familiar, just these fantasy settings.
Right.
They weren't actually true Blizzard worlds and lands and things. But as time went on, we got to go and bring them in. I think we've been having a lot more fun with that. But there's this balance too where there's a desire to want to do Nexus specific things because
Right.
there's no rules, there's no expectation. We can do whatever we want, we can visually create whatever we want, versus there's also this strong desire to want to bring in the IPs in a way that we get to celebrate StarCraft and Diablo and Overwatch and Warcraft, and I think it's always just this
Hard balance.
yeah, this push and pull of what are we really excited about, and that's really what drives the team, is what is the team really passionate about at any given moment, and where do you want to put our energy.
I like the Nexus maps. As much as I'm like, oh yeah, Warsong Gulch, when? Like, Tomb of the Spider Queen is probably my favorite map.
Yeah, I think the ones that diverge and feel different are the ones I like the most, so that's why I think if we were going to go to another Nexus place, I would hope it would be something that felt totally different again.
Yeah, that is a cool thing about HOTS. There's no, like you said, there's no expectation. Oh, I just got taunted. I am not going to be a dragon today. All right, well, that's fair. Why does Barry hate me so much? I think he knows. I think he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Have you guys considered having an announcer? Somebody said Tristram, and this actually made me think of something completely else. For a character, but a character that's not actually in the game. Like, I asked about people like Clotham, but what about like Deckard Cain, the announcer?
We've talked about that. I think that's a possibility as well. There's probably a desire to cover the heroes and stuff that are already in the game, to speak
Absolutely,
to this
'cause
desire
they're
that people
there.
have, like, why can't I get an Alarak announcer?
Right.
But I think that'd be really fun, and like we said, clearly people are enjoying announcers, and I certainly enjoy it.
It's just so hard because there's so much. There's so much Blizzard. Okay, but Blizzard World when? That map for Overwatch, can that be a real place? Can I go there?
Sounds good. I want to go there.
Dude, that would be so, I don't know. I've been to other theme parks, but like I think I would have a Blizzard World annual pass.
Yeah, me too.
I think everyone wants Blizzard World to be a real thing. Yeah, I mean, we're here, so. So we're down. Anything, you guys? How do you, I asked about maps. So Haunted Mines was significantly reworked. And I didn't hate original Haunted Mines. I was probably fine with it. But new Haunted Mines is awesome. What's going on with Hanamura?
Yeah, so
How's that going?
So we're taking a good hard look at Hanamura and cleaning it up, and when it comes back, it will be dramatically different than the old one. And I think, we're always trying a lot of things in this game,
Right.
and I think that Battleground is one where we tried a lot of things, then it ended up being too many things at once, and it all kind of just got kind of crazy. And and we agreed with you guys that it wasn't really working out. So it kind of sucks to pull up a battleground that we worked so hard on, but we want to make it fun and
The
feel
best
good.
that it could be.
So yeah, so when we're gonna spend some time on it, we'll rework it, we'll bring it back in a way that feels like an awesome Heroes of the Storm map.
I don't dislike a lot of things, so you'll probably hear this a lot from me, but I didn't dislike original Hanamura, and the thing I liked most from it were the way the mercenary camps work, and I was happy to see that come back in Volskaya. How did you guys decide all of a sudden that, like, we've had these same mercenary camps, we've had bruisers and we've had knights forever, now we have this new idea. Is that something you think you'll do again, or was that...
So it goes.
They were cool, that's a good haymaker, yeah.
Yeah, I think the team's always pushing themselves to try to think of cool new things to add to the game. So whenever we have an opportunity to do that, and going into the world of Overwatch was a cool chance for them to say, like, what would there be in Overwatch? Like, who would you be fighting? How would we handle this? So I think you'll see us continue to look for those opportunities and keep having fun with it. Like the team likes to do new things. So.
Absolutely, yeah, because we had the same mercs. You know, it was pretty even their placement where they were going to be. You kind of expect that, and I liked the new ones. I like the turret and the healing pack. I love seeing people who haven't played it before and they pick up the turret and they don't know what they're supposed to do with it, or they don't pick it up at all, and it's like...
The challenge with adding something like that, and again, the real problem with Hanamura was there was just so many new things like that,
Yeah,
and
it was
just
a little overwhelming.
it was very confusing.
Are they going to add Deathwing for Pally? Pally did this himself with Port Kaeo, so you can probably watch that stream on his YouTube and let him cover the Deathwing, please. I said at the beginning, but I was really skeptical about Alexstrasza when they said her, because I just feel like dragons are so large, the dragon aspects are so much, but she turned out amazing.
Yeah. It actually feels pretty good in the game, and a lot of work went into trying to balance. Like, we want her to be big, and she is big.
I went from one dragon to another dragon.
Yeah. Well, that actually feels awesome to launch from that. And then you come back and you're still in Dragon Queen mode, too, so it's cool.
No, it's like, I really enjoy her.
Yeah, it feels pretty mighty to take off as her and land back as her.
There's one talent where if you hit, I think it was 15 people, when you're in your alt dragon form, you will land and become Dragon Queen form.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that one. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll find it in a second here. But that was really, I was like, oh, that's probably really cool. To hit 15 people, you would have to hit both teams multiple times. And you would feel really powerful if you did that. I would feel like landing as a dragon if I hit 15 people in the sky.
Showing some fun talents now. That's awesome.
Absolutely. All right, what was the one I wanted to ask? Okay, so remember when it was 7 Warcraft assassins, right? And that was the thing, there's too many Warcraft assassins. So now we've had a couple Overwatch heroes. Hero releases aren't scheduled like that, right? You're not like, okay guys, we got a chunk of Warcraft now. It's more what's ready when it's ready, and it just happens to...
We try generally to have a good diversity across the IPs, across the roles. That's something that we're shooting for. It doesn't always work out that way, and we definitely landed in that time where it was just this barrage of Warcraft things. But there's this balance between what the game needs, and sometimes the IP thing doesn't work out like we'd want it to just perfectly balance it.
It didn't bother me, but chat asked. And I mean, we can see that there were a lot of Warcraft. There's been a few Overwatch this year, but for me, it matters more how the heroes themselves play than where they came from. Like I said, I was kind of skeptical about Alexstrasza, but in the game, she's amazing. So that's okay.
And I think bringing a bunch of Overwatch in this year was really about, this was our time to celebrate Overwatch. And
absolutely.
Overwatch was underrepresented, being that it was the newest IP and it came in a lot later than everything else.
Okay. One at a time. You guys have good questions all at once, and you're not allowed to do that. You have to have a bunch of bad questions and some good questions. Have map bans ever come up for drafts? We talked earlier about a third hero ban phase. How about a map ban phase, like the pros do? They've
definitely talked about it. I think the approach they've leaned more towards is having a map rotation, and that there's some variety there, but it's definitely been talked about.
Probably not something that's like, oh, we're working on it right now.
Yeah, no, I think it's just something that we keep revisiting as the conversations come up on it.
This variant, got it out for me, please.
Likes you.
I want to go meet him afterwards and be like, what did I do to hurt you? I'm just a nice dragon lady, please. Okay, so what was the other one I liked here? How do you feel about rank season rewards? Like, the new mount. In the past, there was one mount for only high rank and one for maybe like Team League. You could be bronze in Team League and you still got that mount. That's changing though. This next season, right? Everybody gets the same mount.
So I think we'll keep looking at seasons and kind of varying up rewards a bit there. I don't know. It's something that we want to make really cool rewards for seasons. We do want to have something that feels really good to somebody who's achieving something great there. But at the same time, like making it like we want people to play Team League.
Right.
I love Team League. We feel like Team League is like really at the end of the day the ideal way. Like if you can get in organized teams and play this game, that's really
the most fun you're gonna have.
Yeah.
Is when you have 5 people, you have comms, you set your team up, you set up your combos.
Yeah, we wanted people to try it too, so there was definitely a desire to do that. But I think in time, we'll try to balance out.
Those are dragons.
Yeah, there's a lot of dragon numbers. But,
So it's just the rewards were more, like you said, an incentive to try Team League, and Team League is it's hard to get people to do it.
it's just hard to get for other people that trust us. I think that's something that we've been looking at a lot for the game of like, how do I, if I come in and I don't have like this established group of friends that I want to play with all the time, like how do I find like-minded people that I can enjoy
Do you
the game
think
with?
voice comms is going to help people with that? In that maybe they talk to somebody in a quick match game and they're like, you know what, that person was cool.
I think it could. I think voice chat is something clearly that that you really need in a game like this, and even though we haven't had it, I think it's something that a lot of people use. Like I'm always getting like Discord links and people are pulling me out, trying to get me to go talk to them. I think it has a lot of other advantages. There definitely can be those cases where you talk to somebody and you're like, that person's actually cool. Like there's like it gives people this personality for better or for worse.
Right.
And you might have more connections, but that's not the sole purpose of it. It really is more about let's get some direct communication and help people tighten up their games.
With voice chat, somebody's asking, how will silence players? Will they be silenced in voice chat as well if they're...
Yeah, the silence is already on them. They won't be able to participate unless they're in a party.
Right.
So
if the queue is 5, then they can
So just like now, silence players can talk to their friends and party mates and stuff. They just can't talk to other people. So
makes sense.
So someone said voice chat turn off. So it is defaulted to off for team or for games.
You have to turn it on.
Yeah, so it's opt-in unless you're in a party. If you join a party, we're going to automatically turn it on for you, and you then have to opt out of it. But if you're just jumping in a game, you're not going to be in voice chat by default.
I keep doing that every time I hit the BRB screen. No, we're here. Because for someone like me, it's going to have to be off, right? Because streaming,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to hear me just talk constantly. I mean, maybe they do, but probably not in game. So I like that you do have the option to turn it off or on. When I played down there, the toggles seemed to be on the stat screen. There was a little top
on the
left
tab.
corner.
Yeah, if you on the tab, the left-hand side of the tab screen, and actually on each person on the tab screen, that's where you could mute individual people, control
nice.
their volume, that kind of thing. So if you just have one person who's bad, just like now, report them. That mutes them. You're done.
Absolutely.
Don't deal with them anymore.
Can you use voice chat while you're not in game? So if you're in a party with a person you've just met, will you be able to use voice chat at
Yep.
that?
You will have voice chat there, and there's like lobby chat and other things too. So
Absolutely. So that's really cool.
yeah, this is the Blizzard voice that just added. They just added to the Battle.net client, and actually this is the same system that launched with Overwatch. It was integrated first in Overwatch, and now we're kind of rolling it out into the games, and
Adapting it in.
it's Hero's turn. So.
This is not related to voice at all, but somebody asked it earlier. How do you guys? And this, I don't know. You can say you don't want to answer, but how's multi-class feel right now? How does Varian feel 1 year later?
Yeah, I think multi-class is one of these interesting things where we're trying to push the game. We're trying to do really interesting things. It created cool opportunities, and it created problems as well.
Yeah.
The matchmaking side is probably the biggest challenge for us of how to account for the way you can kind of spec Varian to be dramatically different. It's like that was by design. We wanted him to be able to go in very drastically different directions, but at the same time it kind of throws off comps, and not knowing which way you're going is challenging. I think it's something that we keep looking at. We want to make Varian be in a great place before we visit other multi-class heroes.
Does he feel like he plays drastically differently? At least
Well,
from what I've seen, he ends up being kind of one build.
so that's always the challenge. Is I think we in the beginning had some more versatility with him, and balance-wise, we had to push him in a direction that now that he ultimately kind of devolves to one way that gets played, which we don't like that for anything in our game. We're really trying to get things to have a lot of options. Like the whole point of the talent system is to give you choices that are meaningful to make that you will vary up game to game situationally. And multi-class was supposed to be kind of the extreme example of that, where you really can push it to its farthest point.
Absolutely different hero, almost, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's something we'll keep pushing there.
Would you say that you're working on heroes currently that could or would be multi-class, or is that something that's on the shelf until it's maybe more developed further?
There's always a lot of heroes in development, and I think we look at opportunities like who could be multi-class. I won't say that there's one that is or isn't at the moment, but every hero through its journey, which is like a really
months.
It's like 6 to 10 months depending on which hero it is and how complicated they are. We explore a lot of different paths for all of them along the way. So, never say never with these things.
Cool. When I know the merch department is its own thing, and I follow some of them on Twitter and see some of the concepts they come up with, and it's amazing. But do you guys make suggestions to them? Are you ever like make us an Alexstrasza shirt, or like there's the Double Dragon shirt that just came out? Did they do that separately from you guys, or how does that?
Yeah, the Double Dragon shirt is actually the dev shirt that our team made for Blizzcon this year, and they just made another version of it that was kind of made available to the public. But yeah, I think our team, like I said, our team loves this game, and we're also excited about it, and so we always are pushing things around and trying to get cool ideas out there. But they also work with internal and external folks to design all this gear, and so there's a lot of stuff coming from multiple directions there.
So I don't really know if I want to ask that one, so I'm not going to. Yeah, there's a lot about shirts all of a sudden. There's like 3 there about shirts all of a sudden.
Hey, I like shirts.
I went down to the gear store and I got some.
Yeah, me too.
The new Blink line is really cool, where you can order from your phone and then show up and just get it.
I used that last night to get a bunch of those little badges for my kids, so yeah, that was cool.
So wise. For Squiggly Snugs, we talked about swaps, and you said it was something you guys are thinking about, and is a thing. But
yeah, it's definitely on the list there, and we liked how it's worked out in the custom games UI. That obviously was not the way we would ultimately want to implement it in terms of it's pretty rough in there, but it just works. We just needed to try to get it in and
you
put
just
out.
want to try it out.
So there's more work. I think that's the thing. People look at it and are like, why don't you just bring that right over? But there's
That
some more,
might not work
There's some more work we have to do.
Because the swaps you see there are with people who are in a coordinated team. In custom games, you have to think of how it would be in Hero League, where you have somebody who's like, give Vala or feed.
Yeah.
You probably. I can see where the concern would come from. Yes, Deathwing questions have been asked. I don't think you guys would answer that to say Deathwing is or is not possible. Anything's pretty much on the table,
Yeah,
right?
anything is possible. And I actually like seeing Alexstrasza as a big dragon on the battleground. I think that, like you said, a lot of work went into that, and I think they'll talk about that some today too at the deep dive panel, kind of because it was a big collaboration between art and design, animation, of trying to make her silhouette be in a way that she felt big but didn't take up so much space that she was just
Oppressively.
yeah. So yeah,
Have you heard the? I'm sure you've heard, because like you said, you guys check feedback. Deathwing is a map, like the spine of Deathwing fight from World of Warcraft and Cataclysm.
Definitely heard that. I remember 2 BlizzCons ago, what all Pally talked about was Deathwing.
That's usually all he talks about, yeah.
And then that time it was just like, we're gonna be on his back and we're gonna fight on his back and that'll do it. And I was like,
Map
okay.
mechanic was roll, where it would.
Sounds good.
Sure,
I'm in.
Pally. Yeah, no, he's a big Deathwing enthusiast. She just flapped me off of my own heel. That was amazing.
Yeah, the denies on that thing are actually pretty cool.
Yeah. I like how it's like a mini Falstad Gust almost. It's not quite as big or impactful, but it's up there. It feels having crowd control as a support of any kind feels super good, because sometimes you have all these heals, they're on cooldown, you just can't. I want to save you, but I can't, and being able to just go, it's good. I really like her. I can't say it enough.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Is there going to be capture the flag in HOTS? That could be fun. Warsong Gulch in HOTS?
Could be.
Sure.
Sounds good.
That's the thing with people making suggestions. It's like, sure. I mean, anything is possible if you believe, right? Talent first, question second. Oh, somebody asked me earlier, is there ever a chance of the brawls existing in custom games? So if you want to get your friends and play the pool party brawl, but it's not actually the week's brawl, is that a possibility? Is that, like, are you physically capable of implementing that?
Definitely capable of doing that. I think right now we've only been putting the current brawl in the custom games,
Right.
so that there's something exciting about when the brawl comes back again for the ones that you really love and want to play. I wouldn't say we would never consider putting them all in there all the time. It's just we do, like, part of the point of brawls is like to create this moment where you're like, oh cool, there's something fun to come play and check out.
Right.
And I missed that thing and it went away. It's been gone for a couple weeks and now it's back. So I think we try to balance that of like how much do people really want to play custom games and brawls versus how it feels for them to come back again.
Yeah, because my favorite brawl is the Ghost Protocol one from Tova.
Yeah,
And-
I love that one too.
And I know I'll go to play that when it comes around because I'm like, oh yeah, Ghost Protocol's around. But like if it's mage battles, I'm like, yeah, maybe not so much. So I think that's a neat idea of the brawls, that they're a little more exclusive. But I could see why people are like, I want to play pool party all the time. I just want to live in pool party.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Please, I want to pick my brawl. Do we have any sort of release date for Alexstrasza or Hanzo? I assume that's something they talk about in the deep dive, but do you?
Yeah, so Alex will be coming out first, and usually what we do after BlizzCon is go to PTR. We go to PTR immediately after, and then usually the following week is when the patch will come out that will continue. So,
For sure.
and then Hanzo should be coming out in December.
So that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Awesome. Speaking of it being quick, that's another thing somebody asked. We have this would make 75 heroes, right? Because there was 73 before, I think.
When we get to Hanzo, yes.
Okay, so
If you count Cho'Gall as 2 heroes, which in the hero select he is, so I'll stick with that.
technically, yeah, sure. So
He was the work of 3 heroes, so I think it's only fair.
when is? Do you guys have a target amount of heroes, or when is enough? Is there, you just do it until you're done?
Yeah, there's no target amount. It's really about what feels good and the pace that feels good in the game and what we're able to do creatively, what we feel like is meaningful, and we're not just like starting to get in a place where heroes are starting to kind of collapse into one another and feel really similar.
Right.
So, yeah, there's no number in mind. It's really more about the feeling and where we're at and what the game needs. There definitely it will be a time where we do less heroes because we've
Right.
done a lot, like 15 in last year. That's a
lot,
that's
yeah.
a lot of heroes. And there are times where, you know, when they come in 3 weeks apart, 'cause we've been all, you know, varying between like 3 and 5 weeks depending on just how the cycle ends up landing. But that's actually a lot of change. Like,
It's a ton. I agree.
yeah, like so there are concerns of like, wow, if when we get into that 3-week cycle, how, you know, is that healthy for the game to like mix it up that much that frequently, or does it feel better to us to make sure that we're spacing it out a little bit more? But I think you can expect us to explore that and see what the right balance is. And we've tried a lot of things, you know. Early on in the game, we did heroes as far apart as 7 weeks and as close together as 2 weeks. We delivered 2 heroes at once
Yeah.
to try that out early on. So,
We do a thing on Squadron where we've been doing like either if it's a new hero or like a major rework or a balance change that we focus on. And I had to get to the point where it was like we couldn't get to the reworks fast enough because the heroes were coming out so fast. So that can be a little intimidating.
So that's another thing. And Alan talked about that a little bit at our What's Next panel. That we have just been like, we make so much stuff for this game. Like,
Right.
it's crazy, and we have patches constantly. And so what happens? Usually the rule would be like, if you have something ready, you can get it in the next patch, and there's always a next patch. And what that's led to, though, is that we have patches where there'll be like 5 hero reworks and a new hero and a new battleground, and it's like, it's overwhelming for players. It's overwhelming for people who are trying to talk about it. It's
Yeah,
overwhelming
when
for
the
us,
patch
right?
notes are this long. It's like, oh my goodness.
So yeah, there's a strong desire for us to be a little more like smart about how we release those things. Where we want to give lots of things still, but we want them to have their moments where you can kind of come in and say, all right, there's a new hero rework right now. Let's take that in and understand that and see how that impacts the game. And it's not just like 20 variables changing all at the same time. So we'll be trying to be smarter about that as well.
Yeah, I agree. It can be a lot where we're like, I don't think we ever got to cover the Chromie changes that happened. They were announced at Gamescom. I don't think we ever got to it because there's so much. Morales happened at the same time, and it was just like,
Yeah.
somebody's got to wait. It's going to be Chromie. This guy's asked the same question like 37 times, so
All right.
we will answer it, or at least we'll ask. For the in-game voice, are there options to change where your sound source is? Like if you want, you can see what he's asking. Like, is that a thing, or is it kind of more basic where it's just on or off?
Yes. Yeah. The selection works like you're used to seeing, and actually it's using
Like
the
you
same
said-
tech as the BattleNet
So
voice
you
app.
could go into the BattleNet app right now and explore it and see the options
Yeah,
that you'll have.
yeah, it's that same system just integrated into the game. The controls are there, so it'll detect whatever you have on your computer that could be a possible source for voice or for sound, and you can change that stuff up. I think I'm supposed to go somewhere.
I think you
they're
were
dragging me away.
Yeah, you were just here for a little bit.
It was
Well,
really
thank
cool.
you. It was
Yeah.
good to talk to you.
Yeah,
Thank
you too.
you.
Great seeing you. Happy BlizzCon.
I like your game.
Ah,
Just,
thank you.
Just out there. I like your game. So keep making your game, and I'll keep playing it.
Awesome. I would do that. Thanks to
Great.
everybody who's watching and asking great questions.
Thank you, Kaeo. Hopefully I'll talk to you again sometime.
Yes. I'll talk to you soon. Have fun. See you
Bye.
later. Bye, everybody.
Okay, team. Kaeo has left us, and this is very sad, but we will persevere. And what we'll do now is maybe focus a little bit more on the gameplay and what talents we're taking and what we're doing, since we don't have an amazing person here to answer our amazing questions. And thank you everybody who provided questions. I know not everybody was here the whole time, so I will try to I will try. I make no commitment, but I will try to go through and look at the questions he answered and type them up and put them on the Hero subreddit. I'm going to use this to get out of here. I will try to go on to the Hero subreddit and just type the answers he was able to give us, because I know there were some questions in there that are asked all the time that maybe you would like to be able to see later. Okay. Like the Arthas rework. I see people still asking. He did answer that question. They are aware of all of the feedback, and it is something they will be working on. There's no date for that, but it's something that they know about. So I will try to type that up, and just so that information can be there forever. Or if somebody else wants to do it and watch the VOD, that would be cool too. Would putting Chromie's Bronze Dragon in? No. Like, are you talking about Nor's Dormu as another hero, as an aspect, or giving Chromie a permanent dragon form? What are you saying exactly? Also, I hate Chromie. Actually, I'm probably going to dislike Chromie a lot less after these camera distance changes go into effect, because it's a lot easier to see where she is and what she's doing. She can't global you from outside of vision anymore. With the camera changes, I think they will really help my feelings towards Chromie quite a bit. I didn't ask about the Raynor rework, okay? I didn't do it. I asked about Lily. I said I would ask one rework question, and the first one I saw was Lily. So I asked them if they would consider reworking Lily, and I believe what he said was they would always consider it, but it's not something they're doing right now. Okay. Ooh, gosh. Yeah, the AoE from Kel'Thuzad is hard because she can't safely stand in my heal, because Kel'Thuzad will just mess her up. I love this ult. And I know somebody asked me to try the other ult, but I can't. I love this one. It's so good. It feels so good. It feels so powerful. It feels so cool. I can't do it. I haven't even tried the other ult, and that was the one I wanted. That ult, her other ult, what's it even called? Lifebinder, was the one that I wanted for Belial. But Cleansing Flame is so much cooler. How good does Alex feel to play? Amazing. I prefer a W-based healing build, which seems weird because people won't stand in it. But I feel like it's gonna be good. Once people get used to standing in her stuff, I think that W is gonna be really good. I talked about earlier how Horsepants last night played her, and he played like damage E builds, and he did an incredible amount of damage. It was on par with the Horsepants Uther build, and how Horsepants was playing Uther on Squadron. He did that with Alexstrasza, and he dominated. So, what was I saying? So, Alex is capable of doing impressive damage numbers, but her healing is phenomenal if you can get people to stand in your W. That's the big thing. Like once they stand, it's bam! There's a talent that adds shields onto it. There's a talent that can add armor onto it. You can add run speed. Just you have so many options with it. I love it. Oh no. Oh no. I just said how amazing everything was, and it wasn't that amazing. Oh, good haymaker. My hay got made. That was good. All right, I'm looking at some questions. I'm leaning over here.
We get revenge later.
Compared to the other healers, what tier do you think she is at first glance? I think she's up there with any of the other top supports. I feel like her right now, the way I'm playing her right now at BlizzCon, I would pick her in Hero League just like I would pick Rhaegar or Uther, or probably above Brightwing. I would probably... Stukov is different, but I feel like she's right up there with any of the regular main top tier healers. Do you feel she can solo support? Yes. Although playing her in double support with a damage build was hilarious. And once this stream is over, I encourage you to go on to Squadron and watch the Horsepants Alexstrasza video. It's from last night. It's about an hour long, so it won't take up your whole day. But seeing her in double support, what she's capable of damage-wise, was very impressive. But as a solo support, I think she's okay. I think she's okay. I'm comfortable with it. Can you show me your dance? Heck yeah, I can show you her dance. Let me give a heal to my friends here that they can't stand in because Kalthazad exists. And let me hit that slash dance. Look at her. I guess I'm not really facing the best way, but it's kind of like a little shuffle. My friends died while I was dancing. Hanzo is the best main to be. Okay, I know I'm not an assassin main, so I'm not the best person to ask, but I found Hanzo kind of awkward to play, for me. Kyberry's Valeera, please. Valeera, please what? Can she dance in dragon form? Yes! She can dance in dragon form. Yes, she can dance in dragon form. It's cute. If we live, I'll do it. Here. Enemy team doesn't want to end, so we can look at some dances somewhere. Oh, did I not? I didn't type it right? There we go. So here's her regular dance. Zoomed in a little bit. Okay, and then... Okay, so that's the dance as a dragon. Does the dragon have a taunt? Oh, I won't get it out in time. Okay, so now you've seen it. Now you've seen it. See, I like this one, Overprotective, Abundance Grant Shields. I like that. Are you happy with the dragon form strength? It's pretty strong. With a team that's together. Like right now we're not grouped, so I'd be worried. But with a team that's together, yeah, it's pretty strong. No, the health in the dragon stays the same. Actually, I want to check that before I say it. Okay, so it gains 975 health when she pops dragon form. So it could potentially save you because you get some extra life. But remember, your Q steals your life. So you're probably going to slurp through that pretty quick unless you're using it purely for damage. I really like that when she's in the dragon form, her breath heals her allies. So So don't forget, if you're playing the dragon, try to be like Alarak, you know, where Alarak is more concerned with the things in between than the thing at the end. Because if you get your allies in between where you're shooting your fire, you'll do more healing. Kyberry is rocking that OG hot shirt. Yeah, this is my old Kerrigan shirt, and I love it. Play with Valeera. No, I'm probably going to keep playing Alexstrasza because. All right, side by side. We'll do that one for now, I guess, so you can see my lonely face. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, what? 11:30? Check with Matt and make sure, but I was told 11:30. So one more game. One more game! We'll play Hanzo for the last game. I played him for the first game, and we'll play him for the last game. We'll bookend Hanzo. You are so alone. Yeah, Kaeo left. Kaeo was only here for about an hour, but he answered some amazing questions, and he's a great person, and he's nice and kind and pretty, so yeah. You're screaming at the, I find I have caps lock on at all times, and I don't know why. Yo, Dark just subbed for 7 months in a row. Dark, thank you so much for your support of the Dinosaur Club. I don't have a dinosaur to give you, but I have a Blizzcon to give you, so you get a Blizzcon. Thank you. Thank you so much. What are the changes to Zeratul? I don't know. I'm terrible. The only stuff I've explored are the things we've learned about the matchmaker changes and the personal rank changes for matchmaker, Alexstrasza and Hanzo. And what we know so far about the stealth changes, which is not that much, but yeah, those are the main things that I have looked at and like asked about and read. Haven't read the other changes. Sorry. Do you think Hots will die? Probably not. Zeratul gets Vorpal Blade baseline. Cool. What are Squadron's plans for today? That's a fantastic question. We are going to be doing a Periscope stream with Pallytime and Starby. I mean, I'll be there holding the camera, but it'll be Pallytime and Starby. And they're going to walk you around the Heroes area, the Warcraft area, and kind of just show you some BlizzCon from Periscope on Twitter. And if possible, I'll get that uploaded to YouTube afterwards. We'll see. What are your thoughts about the new Hearthstone expansion? I think it looks fun. Alright, so I play Hanzo. Hanzo, by the way. I'm not a huge Hearthstone enthusiast, but for what I've seen about it, it looks pretty cool. What's a good mount for Hanzo? What do you think Hanzo would ride, and why is it a unicorn? Let's see if there's any Hanzo banner in here. Doesn't look like it. Oh boy, Hanzo using a Genji banner. That should be illegal. Okay. What do I think about the stealth changes so far? I think they're good, and I think they were necessary. It's something Kaeo and I talked about, that you have to feel for people that either don't have the best vision or don't have the best computer, so they're playing on lower settings, or they've never played a game like StarCraft where that kind of stealth and predator shimmer exists. To them, stealth heroes are probably invisible, like completely invisible. And what Kaeo had said was the strength from stealth shouldn't come from someone's inability to see your character. It should come from, like, the important things about stealth are preserved, about being like unhittable and undetectable and not appearing on the mini-map. So you can still get ganks and you can still attack out of stealth, but having it so a portion of the player base, by no real fault of their own or nothing they can change, can't see you, was kind of unfun and unfair. So I think that is a good change. And yeah, I think that's a good change. I think it's a good thing. I'm glad you like Alexstrasza after you're concerned with them adding a dragon aspect. Yes, I admit it, up, down, and sideways. I was really negative about the idea of adding a dragon aspect to the game, but Alexstrasza turned out amazing. Her model looks amazing. Her kit is awesome. She feels really fun to play. And everything, I mean, no, she's not as big as she should be in lore, but who is, right? I mean, Sergeant Hammer is significantly shrunk. So we can get over that. For everything else we gain. Okay, what is this? Oh, that one was really hard to do, I remember. And then I'm gonna try target practice again. I had a hard time with target practice the one game we played it, because you have to hit each hero. It's not any hero, it's each hero. So, I had a hard time with target practice, but we'll try again. Yay! Okay. Without building into it, how much damage does he do? Average for a support. Average for a support, you know? Not a huge amount, but not none. When you build into damage, though, she can do incredible damage. It's actually kind of scary. I'm telling you, watch Horsepants Player and you'll see what I mean. But when I was playing it, it was like average Rhaegar damage or average Uther damage. Not built for it, but not built for it. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, how did I miss? Feels bad, man. Vision over there. I like Hanzo's vision. It was one of the things I always liked most about Tyrande before Owl build became the Murderer build, was that you could provide so much vision, targeted across the map vision. Always felt really good, and I like that from Hanzo, I guess. Overlay. Oh, I'm sorry. Hots. How do I like the stealth changes? I mean, good. I think this is what I don't like most about Hanzo, that he can move while channeling and holding his Q. It feels so awkward to me. And maybe that's just a me thing rather than an actual gameplay thing, but gosh, it bugs me. Overlay baby rage, I'm sorry I fixed it though. Can you forgive me? Find it in your hearts. How do I like the WoW expansion? Sure. I haven't played as much World of Warcraft as I used to, so I'm pretty much down for whatever. Feels a little bad to say, but
Activate the shrine, defeat its guardians, and the Punisher will be ours.
yeah, take that, bug. The problem I have with scatter arrows, I keep hitting heroes dead on with it rather than bouncing it, so I think I'm doing it wrong. And I might be wrong, maybe it's okay to hit heroes directly, but I thought you're supposed to bounce it. Like this feels so awkward to me. Like, what is this? What is this? But I like this. I like being able to see that. But like, I just hit Anubarak dead on with that scatter arrow. Is that bad? I feel like I'm doing it wrong. I feel like I'm supposed to shoot it like behind me and get it bouncing all over the place. But I'm not, you know, I'm not a Hanzo main, so I'm not positive what's happening there. Oh, but that one, did I do it there? Was that right? Mom, are you watching? I think I did it. I think I'm a Hanzo main. I think I did that correctly. Oh my goodness. Oh, jeez, that was not good though. What am I supposed to take here? Basic attacks and Stormbow deal bonus damage to shields. Basic attacks reduce scatter arrow cooldown. Stormbow grants spell power. Sure. Kyrers, that was how you use scatter arrow. Yes. Yay! You did it, team. Yeah, that's what I mean. I keep hitting enemies with the first arrow, and like that's not right. I want to do like that, I guess. I don't really know. I'm trying though. I'm trying my best. I want to be the very best Hanzo there ever was. I'm a Hanzo. Show off Hanzo's trait. Okay, okay. But not right now. Okay, not right now. I haven't had to escape anything. Here, I'll show you here. It's got a long cooldown though, so you don't want to do it for no reason. I know everything. I didn't finish my quest. I got close though. Although we're dominating right now. We're on the core at level 10. That's awkward. So the good one is supposed to be Dragon's Arrow. According to Horse Pants, and he's never lied to me, the good one is supposed to be the stun. But do I want to take Wakatiki Dragon just for fun? I guess I'll try this stun. Okay. Fire a missile that travels across the battleground, exploding, hitting ammo here. Yep. Does it stop for buildings? I have so many questions. Okay. I snipped it. 6-minute match, do it. I'm trying. Okay, good. I'm not good at this. I'm trying. Hanzo's basically a useless Genji. I mean, he does damage. I'm producing numbers. Uh-oh. Trouble. See, I'll stay here because then I can just jump away. And there, I hit him dead on with the scatter arrows. So did I mess up? I'm just going to keep hanging out here and, like, messing with the enemy team, I guess. Who do I need to hit? I need to hit Murky. I haven't hit Murky at all. All right, here. I'm going to just jump this. Like, get me out of here. I really like his 13 talent. I'm going to definitely take it. Mounted archery. When you jump over terrain, you land on your mount. Like, I think that's really cool. Let me remind you, the people on the red team probably waited an hour to play this game for it. But I need to hit Murky with my arrow. There's one. Let's try my ult and see what it does. Are we ready? Alright, I stunned that man. I felt unexciting. I need to hit Murky again. Murky, come back! I need to hit you with my bows. I missed. I missed. Ow. There's so much CC on the enemy team. I'm not prepared. You want to shoot the scatter arrow? Yeah, I'm trying to do like, okay, like I bounced it here. No, I missed it completely. Never mind. Pretend that didn't happen. Pretend that didn't happen. I feel like we could end if we just walked up and end, but our team does not know that, so. Yeah, target practice completed. Sweet. I don't know what that gives me, but like I'm excited about it. Choose a talent. Here we go. Mounted archery. This one's fun. I like mounted archery though, for real. Okay, well, we won. I did the most damage. Right behind some enemy team is Alexstrasza, most damage. That's crazy. I said one more game, but then it was a 10-minute game. Do we keep going or do we not? Do I keep going till 11:30 or am I done? Okay, we're done. That was the last game. We're done. Okay. Thank you, Spirian. Okay. Thank you. All right, I'm going to make this really big and say goodbye. Are you ready? Side by side. Okay, thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you had a great time. I hope you enjoyed watching a lot of Alexstrasza and a little bit of Hanzo. We asked some really great questions of Kaeo, who is an amazing person and an amazing developer. I'll put this up to YouTube, so if you missed part of it, you can watch it again later. It was great to see all of you here from Blizzcon. If you're in the area, please come to Squadron's party tonight at the Marriott so I can hug your face and your whole body. And if not, check out Squadron streams and videos that we're putting up on YouTube and check out mine. I would appreciate that. Thank you, and thank you to Blizzard if you're watching and you're here. This was really fun. All right. I'm gonna go touch the rest of your convention. I'm gonna put my hands all over it. Rude. And I will see you guys tomorrow on Squadron's breakfast stream. Okay? Okay, bye. No dogs barking. This is so weird. I don't even know what's happening to me right now. Stop streaming.